Yo yo yo, Yosef here. And you join me on this glorious sunny day at Catford Parkrun. Apologies, I have a little bit of a cold, but I will do my best today. This is another of those lovely, slightly smaller ones inside of London, where you can get away from the hustle and bustle and really feel the kind of community and energy. It was really vibrant and energetic. As always, I will do a quick overview so you can get an idea of what to expect if you come to this parkrun in the future. It was an absolute glorious sunny day, and so all of the grass was completely dried out. You'll see that we are running mostly on field. We'll run a little bit on tarmac and some compact gravel trail paths as well. So in winter you will probably need trail shoes for some of it, as it will get a little bit slippy and just slightly muddy, but on a day like today road shoes would be absolutely fine. It's actually just under a 3-lap course. At the end you do peel off to the right, so I will show you that, and it's quite undulating, 46 metres of elevation. I feel like before I started running I had never said the word undulating, and now I seem to be saying it all the time. So we've started with that section on the grass. We're now on a short downhill on the tarmac, and this is an interesting bit. There's a sharp right hand turn where we do the full perimeter on the field, and it's really good because you can see all the leaders at the front, all of these people with their prams chariot racing, and you will loop around the whole field all the way around the outside, and you'll be able to see the trail of runners behind you as well. In terms of PB, not a great course for a PB this one. You come in to enjoy a fun challenge with the twists and turns and the hills. And so speaking of twists and turns, as you come round you can see that huge snake of runners, and then there's another sharp right hand turn here where you're back onto a tarmac path, which will continue for around 1 kilometre and turn into a hard trail path as well. And one of the things, because this is a 3-lap course, you will start to lap people at all kinds of paces, so just bear that in mind and be aware of your fellow runners. There's around 250 people at this parkrun week by week, so it's not quite as busy as somewhere like Tooting, and while this back section is lovely, as you come in through these trees you will get some guidance just to keep to the left here and follow the cones. There's about 250 people each week, so it doesn't get too crowded. It's just a really nice atmosphere. It was somebody's 200th celebration today, so they were out in some quite loud, colourful clothes, as well as blowing the whistle and celebrating, everyone cheering. Yeah, it was a nice fun one, this. But this back stretch was really, really pretty, but again I do think in winter, as we're getting onto this trail gravelly path, this will probably get a little bit muddy and slippy in winter as well. So trail shoes would probably be recommended. You know, we've seen quite a few prams on today in this really hot sunny weather, but with the hills and a little bit of mud that might be a bit tricky in winter. By all means give it a challenge, but just be aware of that as well. So we've been pretty net downhill for quite a while now. Oh, just as we check that my camera is still running and my hairy chest. I don't usually wear a vest, but it was so bloody hot and sunny on today that I got the guns out. But yeah, it's been a net downhill, but as we approach this final kind of 300-400 metres of the first lap, there is a very steep uphill. So we're starting here. I don't know if you can start to hear my breathing getting a little bit heavy, but really it's after this corner that it starts to get steeper. So conserve your energy on the first and second lap, and this is where you really want to kick up this big steep hill. You'll see the gradient start to climb on the right hand side, and as my heart rate and breathing gets higher and heavier. So just at the top of here, on every lap you will continue to the left, and on the final lap you will see a sign to peel off to the right. So follow everyone round to the left, lap 1 and 2, and for lap 3 you'll see here you go right, and you'll have about 100 metre sprint to the finish. So conserve your energy for a big kick up the hill until that final 100 metres. Now we haven't quite finished the first lap, there's one more out and back just around the outside on this tarmac path as well, so catch your breath from the hill. You can see my bloody heart rate is 188, and this was meant to be my medium effort in the middle of my long run. So yeah, I'm not quite managing to stick to my plan of keeping it under 180 heart rate, but I did start to dial it back just a little bit. Back to chatting about important things at Catford to take note of. There are toilets and a cafe by the start and finish line. There is just one toilet, so if you do think that you'll need the toilet, make sure you come a little bit early, just as a queue may form. And everyone will stick around for a post-run coffee at Mountsfield Park Café, which is just by the bandstand and the start-finish area. As this volunteer gets us with the super soaker, it really was a boiling day, and that was very blessed. So we come to the final stretch of the first lap. And yeah, just again, my highlights for this course. Yep, it's absolutely gorgeous. All around you get great panoramic views of London, but the energy and kind of atmosphere, it didn't feel competitive. It was like everyone cheering. You can hear all the volunteers here as we finish the first lap. Just a really, really nice atmosphere from all the runners and volunteers. So great shout out to the team here. So that's the end of the first lap. And we just repeat that 2 more times, so I will skip little bits here and there. And I will cover off last few bits and bobs. So in terms of transit, there is free parking on nearby roads, but would always like to encourage, try and take public transport where you can. Hither Green Station is about a 12-minute walk, otherwise Catford and Catford Bridge are about 15-17 minutes away on foot. Now this guy here with the pram just suddenly stopped in front of me, and I wasn't quite expecting that. But yeah, we're going back down this downhill. Sharp right to the right hand side. I'd forgotten about this. It's coming up, and I don't know if you can quite see in the distance here. The guy just in front of us takes out his phone. But the Goodyear blimp was here, so I'm not quite sure why that was spotted in southeast London. So if anyone knows why the Goodyear blimp was around, do drop a comment, let us know. Sorry, back to transit. Yeah, so there are buses and trains nearby. If you are running here, then make sure that you don't do what I do, which is go up the waterway link and then realise that the bridge is still closed and you have to loop back all the way. So yeah, I've just been mixing up my long runs and my training. It's quite nice, this new thing that I'm doing. I'm doing my long run on the Saturday. So I'll do about 25 kilometres, with about 5 kilometres in the middle of that as a park run. So I'll just put in a little bit of a harder effort on those park runs and then go home on my tired legs to really simulate the last few kilometres of a marathon, trying to plod away after you've already got exhausted legs. I just slowed down here because there was a lovely greyhound on the right, so I made sure that we captured that. So yeah, I know I've mentioned I was ill a month or 2 ago, but my fitness is slowly coming back and I am slowly building up my mileage as well. So all positive. Just here, this was our friend celebrating, I couldn't remember if it was their 200 or their 250th, but yeah, she brought a lot of energy to the event. We'll slow down the footage again as we power it up this hill. End of the second lap, 2 kilometres to go, and that heart rate is climbing and climbing. Yeah, I mean, I gave this guy a bit of encouragement as he zoomed past me. Everybody, again, giving people encouragement as they're overtaken or being overtook. Just friendly all around. Remember, on your final lap, to peel right here.
Thank you.
If you have made the journey down to Catford for a day trip, or this was one that you've travelled a little bit of a distance to do, things to do in the area, I'd say definitely stick around at the bandstand and the cafe. Go and have a coffee as like a really lovely group of people that will stick around. Again, the volunteers were great. Again, the guy with a super soaker here giving us a nice spritz. But I couldn't believe the volunteers at the end. They had ice water, just big thing of water with loads of ice. Absolutely lifesaver on a day like today. So yeah, definitely do stick around at this one afterwards. Taking the views of South London, we're quite high up here, so you do get some really lovely views. Then afterwards, perhaps head into the Catford town centre. It's about a 15-20 minute walk, but there's lots of breweries and cafes, or you can go and get a decent brunch at one of the local spots. Last thing I had just forgotten to mention By the bandstand, you may have noticed it as we ran past, there's a really big children's park as well, so if you have brought your little ones along, I'm sure they will love it if you stay for a little play in the playground as well. Apologies, this video was a little bit delayed coming out. I have just caught up. Since doing this video, I've actually done my local parkrun, South Norwood Country Park, as well. So that video should be out soon. That is my absolute favourite in South East London, a real hidden gem, so make sure that you do watch this one. We're coming to the end, so time for a classic sprint finish. 200 metres to go. Again, it is a 3-lap course, so there is just a little bit of traffic here, but we have 100 metres up this very steep uphill. So it's rude not to give it a little bit of a emptying the tank, isn't it? So here we go, up the hill, get that heart rate back up towards 190, then we'll round this corner for the final 100 metre sprint. And yeah, enjoy the sprint, and I will catch you next time. Peace. GG.
Cheers.